At this moment, Milan's reputation is at an all-time high. Politecnico is an attractive, large, open laboratory in the heart of Milan, featuring the innovative study programs needed to prepare for new professions and to face new challenges. The research and experimentation of today will illuminate tomorrow. We need creativity and intuition. This is a great opportunity. The challenges that lie before us are tough. Now's the time to take our destiny into our own hands, to seize the day, to pioneer the change. We must stay switched on. There's a need for transformation that cannot be overlooked.
Okay, welcome everybody to the webinar, where you already saw a great introduction to some studies and what is Politecnico di Milano can offer. Today's session will be especially about design and how to shape your career as a designer. And we will hear more about all the details about this program from both the staff member of Politecnico di Milano, as well as we have a student that joined this program before, so you will hear the ins and outs. Now, before we go to them, let me briefly explain to you some of the interactive options we have. First of all, my name is Luc Mulling. I'm the moderator of today, and I already saw people saying hello from the chat, so that's great to see. So by all means, do so. Let us know where you're logging in from. I already see people from Romania, Poland, Hong Kong, US, Afghanistan as well, and Czech Republic. So that's great to see. Nice diversity, and maybe some of you might be fellow students in the classroom next year, who knows. Now, besides the chats, of course, you can also write your questions at any time. So we already received the question, how long this session will last. And Serena, I can already answer that. So the approximate time is probably about 40 minutes. So just to for your expectations. But by all means, do write your questions at the bottom tab called questions. We will answer those questions at the end, and take advantage, because we also have a student, and then you can hear some more insights and get your questions answered. Also, we have a polling opened, so you can see that on the right as well. You can click on what your academic professional background or interest is. So do let us know a bit about yourself, and throughout the session I will open up some more polling questions. And last but not least, we have a little fun button. At the bottom of the screen there is a button as well, where you can check and let us know a bit on your how you feel about the session. So let us know. And without further ado, let's continue and start with the presenters. I will go over to Chiara. Chiara is in Milan and will present herself, and also Timothy and the program. Thanks. Go ahead.
Thank you, Luke, and welcome everyone. My name is Chiara. I'm currently in Milan, a lively Milan, I would say, because it's still summer, basically, and a lot of students have just started their academic year, so it's a very nice time to be here. And I'm really proud to present Politecnico di Milano and the study opportunities we offer to you all. And also, I'm really happy to be here with the special guest whom I will present very, very soon. Before doing that, I would love to start the presentation, just to inform all of you that Politecnico di Milano is a technical university based in this amazing city and offering architecture, design, and engineering programs at undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD level. Today we focus on the postgraduate studies, and we hope you start your journey at Politecnico di Milano today with us, and we hope it's going to be a long and fruitful journey, like it was for our guest, today's speaker, Timothy. Welcome, Timothy. Thank you for joining today's event. He's a former student of Politecnico di Milano. He's an alumnus of the university, currently in the US. And I would leave you tell something about yourself to the audio.
Sure. Hi there. This is kind of fun for me. I haven't done this before. I graduated actually a couple of years ago from the master's program at Politecnico in Design del Prodotto. I was able to study in Italian, which was fun, but there were also English sections available. And now I am back in the US. I have a little workshop here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia. And I just had a great experience abroad, living and studying in Milan, and continue to collaborate with my friends there, and feel that it has been a huge resource to me, and I look forward to continuing this and sharing it with you guys as well. I think it's a great opportunity for young students looking to learn a lot and meet some really smart people.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, what was impressive for me talking to you in the last call we had, is that you really took advantage of the experience here in terms of course, competence, and of course, in terms of education, but also in terms of connections. And we think that's a very important takeaway from an experience abroad. And so you have still a lot of things going on, also professionally with people you met at Politecnico di Milano or linked to Politecnico di Milano. So that's also something we can maybe highlight today. And so we talk about, as the video showed, and as Timothy was saying, we talk about people here. We talk about a great university also because of the people that are involved in studying and teaching here. But also we talk about a great location. So Milan is really well located strategically. I would say it's in the center of Northeast Italy, very well connected with a lot of different countries by train, by plane, of course, and can really easily travel a lot from Milan to different countries, to the other regions of Italy, enjoy seaside, mountains, lakes, and a lot of nature and a lot of city of culture. So it's really a place to be. This, and of course, it's an economic hub in Italy. So when something new happens and when a new trend is starting, it usually starts in Milan. If we talk about Italy, so innovation, design, dynamicity are words that really describe Milan. I think, Timothy, you can somehow confirm this opinion and information from your ex-student's point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't know much about Milan, honestly, before I applied to the Politecnico. I had studied briefly in Rome and was interested in learning more about Europe. I applied to the Politecnico a bit randomly because I liked the look of the design program there. And I had an opportunity to study also in the scholarship program called Alta Scuola Politecnica. So it just, it was a real cool opportunity. But once I moved to Milan, I did learn that it's of design and engineering in the whole region. So during my studies at Politecnico, I was blown away by all the connections with the kind of the movers and shakers in the world. And during my thesis research, which I'll speak about in a moment, I was able to work with an Italian manufacturing company that makes 3D printers. So it just opened up a lot of doors to me that I didn't even realize existed. And it led to some really cool sort of cutting edge work that wouldn't have been possible if I had not been so close to the actual seat of production, which if you know sort of geography, the northern part of Italy is a highly productive region with a lot of cutting edge manufacturing. So I think that is key to the Politecnico's success, both on the design side and also on the engineering side. And I found a home right in between, where I was collaborating with engineers and architects and business students at the Politecnico, and we were able to do some really cool work there. Thanks to its location.
Yeah, definitely something to highlight. And as Timothy was saying, the university is located in the north of Italy, and the main campus is in Milan. The two main campuses are in Milan, but we also offer programs on other campuses located in smaller cities, really well connected to Milan and not far. So as Timothy was saying, we have a very strong connection with the industry, with the companies, and so when you study on a campus, you definitely will have the opportunity to know more about the territory and about this partnership we have. So when you look for a program, of course, you can check the campus variety stuff, but all the programs in the field of design are offered in Milan Bovisa campus. So if you're interested in Milan, you have to focus on this campus specifically. The university is very focused on research, meaning that we are the first Italian university for projects funded by the European Commission. The quality of the projects we work on and infrastructures and the way the professors are and the researchers are involved in research is very appreciated. Of course, you can see that from, of course, understand that from the numbers we are showing in the slide. And it is also thanks to the fact that we have infrastructure. So we have labs. The students can enter, or anyway, just the researchers are really using a lot. Among these, we have 6 large infrastructures, which are the ones we selected to be shown on this slide. And this gives the opportunity also to the companies we have partnership with to work with Politecnico di Milano on projects and test their devices and projects in our infrastructures. I know that these labs, Timothy,
at the Politecnico. It's kind of an odd mix of things, because it was a time in my career when I was interested in experimentation, and the professors at Politecnico really pushed us to test different things. So in the design, in the product design course, We work with a lot of different materials. Often the coursework is linked with a company, so you'll have a real-world design prompt that you need to respond to. So we worked with Brown, the famous German designer and manufacturing company. We worked with PepsiCo on a competition where we developed a food product, which is pictured there. So all of those were really interesting for me. Like I said, I got really into 3D printing, and the labs include a number of 3D printers. And for my thesis project, I started doing 3D printing on textile, which resulted in all sorts of interesting things, a lot of cool shapes that resulted from that. And I continued that research actually after graduating, and we presented a competition entry for Dubai Expo 2020, which was then delayed because of the pandemic. But we won that competition, and we won the Addy Special Prize for our work. And it was a really nice capstone on the couple years that I spent there. And it felt good that the work we were doing at Politecnico was recognized actually on a regional level and on an international level, because it was truly cutting edge. And again, that was actually thanks to this collaboration we had with WASP, which is a local Italian company, and they have strong connections with Politecnico, and they just were delightful to work with. So I feel very indebted both to the university and to the business community that supports it so well.
Yeah, the project students work on are really concrete projects. Sometimes, as Timothy was saying, like proposed or anyway in cooperation with companies. And if you can also find out more about research in general by scanning this QR code. A lot of news are published on the websites, just to understand how Politecnico di Milano is always trying to be innovative and in connection with the other universities, research centers, and companies. So just to let you know, we were saying, we have 3 levels of education at Politecnico di Milano. We offer the bachelor, which in Italy lasts 3 years. After that, students can enter the master degree, and we're talking about master degree today, which lasts 2 years. We offer 42 programs in English, so the students who want to apply are not required to know Italian before applying. And then also there is the opportunity to enter and finish a PhD also in English here at the university. What's important to know is that initially to enter a master degree in a specific field, you must have the relevant background in a relevant field. So let's say if you're interested in design, you must have a bachelor degree in design, or basically in design. Sometimes you might have a background in engineering and apply for a specific program which is design and engineering, but in general it's important to have the knowledge and the skills at level to perform during a master degree. And as I was saying, Italian is not a requirement, it's not an entry requirement, but it's an additional skill you will get during the 2 years of master. Since a course of Italian is mandatory during your master degree, you might already know Italian for some reason. In that case, you don't need to take any course. You might only maybe just go on to improve your knowledge. If you don't know Italian, you will have the opportunity to study for free here, and basically that will make life easier for you, of course, to make Italian friends, to work, and of course to travel a little bit. Please.
Hey, Kira, if you're
sure,
if I have a moment, I think that well, I had about a B2 level Italian when I arrived, which was good enough to get by. But obviously there are lots of students who maybe are B1 or below, and I don't think you should worry. The Italians in Milan, most everyone speaks English and you can get by. So don't worry about it, but I actually would suggest studying Italian. I think it adds a lot to the experience. And the better you speak, the more practice you get, because you can go out at night and all your friends speak Italian, and it comes to you very naturally in that case. So if you know that you're going to the Politecnico, sign up for some Italian courses ahead of time, sign up for Duolingo or Babbel or something, and I think it'll pay off a lot. For me, that was a huge part of the experience. It just really helped me enjoy the culture even more, and it's a lasting benefit that I've taken away and now.
And he speaks it perfect Italian, so yeah, that's definitely true. So yeah, the experience here is, of course, it's possible to study here just knowing English, because the programs are in English and the environment is, let's say, international here. But knowing Italian will add a lot to your experience in terms of connections and traveling opportunities, and a lot of, and also work opportunities. If you know Italian, if you want to work in Italian companies or in international companies where your connection with Italy, you definitely will give you much more opportunities if you know the language. And anyway, it's compulsory to take a course of Italian before graduation and at Politecnico di Milano. In terms of, we were talking about international environment, and yeah, we can definitely say we have an international community here. There are a lot of international students, and the number is increasing every year from more than 100 nationalities. So from more than 100 countries around the world, meaning that you will really have the opportunity to meet people from different backgrounds, cultures, and with different approach also on the study method. So it's definitely a great opportunity. The majority of our international students are enrolled at postgrad, so in master programs. Well, this way, of course, you will make a lot of friends, but also you will learn how to focus and approach different projects and problems with people that have a different point of view, a different background. The international community is also thanks to the fact that we have, of course, visiting professors, and we have researchers from abroad, and we have a lot of partnerships which allow students to go abroad for a period of time for an Erasmus or exchange program, to take a double degree and so on. So this is a very important aspect of our offer as a university. And of course, we offer programs in the different fields, but we focus today on the design programs, which are the ones you see here on the screen. All of them are available in English, so you don't have to know Italian again. You can definitely build your study plan in English, or if you want, you can take some courses, also include also some courses in Italian. All these programs are offered again on Bovisa campus, and there is a very strong interconnection between them. So if you study a program which is, I don't know, communication design, you will also take some courses which are related to some other fields. So I don't know, maybe digital, maybe integrated products. So there's always the opportunity to move a little bit from field and get other competencies, because you build your study plan. Some exams, some courses are mandatory, but others depend on your interest, and you can select the ones you are more interested in. I don't know if you want to add something about the program, the structure, or something that might be interesting for students from US.
Yeah, sure. I enrolled in the 2-year laurea magistrale in per l'innovazione, quindi it had a kind of a goofy name, and then they renamed it Integrated Product Design, which simplified things for us on our resumes. Anyway, I liked the program. It was at Bovisa campus, so I was living in Milan, but I would take the bus or the train out just a little ways to Bovisa. All of the design students were there, so I was kind of rubbing shoulders with all the other designers in PSSD and in fashion design and other programs like that. Nearby, we had a number of engineers. The engineering campus is linked up at Bovisa. And then I was able to meet some of the architecture students who were mostly on the Leonardo campus in Milan. But obviously there are other campuses, so I don't want to oversimplify it. The big point here is that it's, they're different things to study, but you'll often overlap with other students, which I think is a real benefit to you. And the elective courses that you have, and I think all of the programs have some elective courses, those will often overlap with other students. So that's a big advantage. And then in my particular case, I also enrolled at the Alta Scuola Politecnica, which allowed me to work side by side in a team with engineers and business. So for me, that was a plus. And I think that's something that all of the top international kids should look at. I mean, it's a cool program and a great offering from Politecnico.
Yeah, definitely. And what Timothy was saying is very important. So the interconnection, the possibility to talk to really meet basically students of different programs is a key advantage of studying at Politecnico di Milano. And going back to the presentation, we might need to go into details about the application, because luckily the application is open. It opened 2 days ago, and it means that you can already apply for September 2024. Here we just present quickly the requirements and the procedure for applying, and then of course we are available for any question. The important thing I want to highlight today is that, again, you need to have a background in design to apply to our programs in the field of design, except for design and engineering program, which accepts also students from engineering. I want to highlight this because I know in some other countries the procedure and the requirements are totally different, but in Italy, in Politecnico di Milano, this is an important aspect to be considered. Then we have some country-specific requirements. It might be a minimum GPA or some requirements of levels of education. So just read that on the website, because I see you come from a lot of different countries, so I don't focus on some specific area. And again, English language knowledge is required, of course, because the programs will be in English. The application itself is really easy and simplified compared to when Timothy applied, because it's definitely 100% online, and you have just to upload some documents. I will show you in the next slides, and then of course select the programs you want to apply for, up to 2 programs, and then you pay a fee, an application fee of €50, after which we start evaluating your application. The application is open, as I was saying, until November, and then again from January to February. Of course, the earlier you apply, the earlier you have the results. So we definitely suggest to, of course, collect all the documents and be ready for the application, but don't wait to like the second call if you are convinced of applying, because some spots might already be taken. The seats are limited, so just consider this information. So it's good you connected today, so early to know more about Politecnico di Milano. And here you see the list of mandatory documents. So we'll basically need your university documents. Even if you have not finished the bachelor degree, you can apply already if you finish next year. We will need your transcript, your bachelor degree or provisional certificate, a CGPA statement, meaning just specifying your average, your GPA. We need definitely a curriculum, a portfolio for students interested in design. Again, students from engineering interested in design and engineering program can avoid providing a portfolio, of course, because they will not have the skills to create a portfolio, and then the English language proof. In addition to these documents, you might want to upload the other ones you see here, in particular the motivation and recommendation letters and the course description provided by your university. So this is basically the set of documents we require. Of course, if you have been studying in English, you see students from the US, for example, you don't need to take any language certificate. You will need just a document from your university testing that the teaching language was English. That's pretty much all about the application itself. Of course, we will email you the information, and you can find everything on the website by scanning this QR here. And another aspect which is another information which is needed, of course, is the budget. So the cost you might foresee, you need to plan ahead for. The tuition fees of the university depend on where you come from. So if you are European students, you pay according to your family income. The maximum you pay is 3,900 euros per year. And again, I remind you that the programs are 2 years. If you're non-European student, you will pay 3,900 euros per year. In addition to this, you might also get a scholarship. So there will be a scholarship application, or anyway, a scholarship opportunity. We have scholarship would cover the tuition fees and might provide also some pocket money to the students. And these are merit based. So basically, they depend on the application, on the quality of your education and the GPA and so on. And also there are other scholarships. I might also mention Fulbright, because it's definitely an opportunity you have to consider if you come from the US. We have a partnership with the Fulbright Commission, and students interested in design can apply to this scholarship offered by them and study for free, basically, at Politecnico di Milano, with also some important pocket money. So just have a look and browse a little bit about Fulbright and Politecnico di Milano. Of course, on our website you will find the link. In addition to this, you can work here. So when you apply to university in Italy, being a non-European student, you can work 20 hours per week. That's allowed. But also you can work at the university. So there is the system of paid collaborations, where students can apply to work in the offices and be involved on activities on campus. So without leaving the campus, you work and you get paid. Concerning the costs, well, it's really hard to say if it's expensive or not, because that really depends on where you come from, where you are located, where you study. But these are more or less the expenses you should expect at Politecnico, in Milan in particular. If you study in a smaller city, so in one or another of the other cities, of course, you might be cheaper. But in Milan, this is much or less the expenses. What is important to know is that if you are accepted and you decide to come to Milan, it's important to look for accommodation as soon as possible, because of course it's a capital of a lot of things, economics, fashion, and so on, but it's not a huge city, so it's important to plan that ahead. I don't know if, Timothy, you want to say something about living costs and this kind of thing?
Oh, I mean, it is tricky. I mean, it is a very busy city. A lot of Italians are texting each other on WhatsApp and asking about housing and who's going to sublet from whom. So, I mean, once you know people in Milan, it definitely gets easier. And when you're an outsider, it can be tricky. So I would just say start early. If you find something you like, grab it. And definitely use any network of friends or family or other classmates. I think you can get on these Facebook groups for students looking for housing, and just post a message, say you're looking for a room, and it'll often be much cheaper if you're renting a room rather than trying to get an entire apartment or something like that. And then I didn't do it, but I mean, honestly, in retrospect, I might have chosen to live in a residence. A couple of my friends lived in the Politecnico residences, and they had a great time, and they met a lot of their best friends there. So I would suggest maybe starting in a residence if you can, get the lay of the land, and then after a semester or after your first year, you could obviously move something else on your own.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. Anyway, there are also some associations that help in finding accommodation. So don't worry about that now. Just to let you know that to have an idea about the expenses you might expect here at Politecnico di Milano. At the same time, we have to consider that we offer some discounts and some services, of course, to the students. So you definitely welcome you the best way we can. We organize welcome activities and events on campus. Things going on are really lively, I would say, during the year. The competitions, the associations are really active, and of course you can study languages on campus. You can take courses of soft skills and other extracurricular classes. So it's really important to know that also you have a lot more beyond the teaching and the learning at Politecnico di Milano, which also will create the connections Timothy was mentioning before. So I really admire students of Politecnico di Milano because they have the energy to do a lot more than only studying, which is already demanding here. They are involved in a lot of associations of activities related to sport, music, to theater, to research also. So it's really nice and important to maybe browse a little bit about these opportunities and also attend the welcome activities where you will be presented all of the opportunities we offer here. What we do is also to think about your future. So we try not to leave you alone after you graduate. Of course, we stay in touch because like it happened with Timothy, we really got in touch after a few months or years he graduated. So we try to stay in contact. We offer the opportunity to do a PhD after graduation. Again, all these programs are in English, and in case you feel like you're into research and you feel that as a mission, you also want to upgrade your education to a PhD to have better job opportunities, because doing a PhD here means also starting a career, like have a better career. Does not only mean that you go to you stay in the university for doing research or teaching, but you really might be working in companies with a PhD level. We try to focus also on your, like as I was saying, on the employability. So when you finish a PhD, this is what happens. So you see, within 1 year you are employed. You can work in the research institutes, or you can work in the private sector, and the same happens for master programs. After you graduate, even before you graduate, you might already be employed. So 42% of our international master students are employed before graduation in a company, thanks to the career service, or maybe thanks to the connections they built during their master program at Politecnico di Milano. But anyway, let's say it's not a problem. You don't struggle to find a job after graduation, or as we were saying even before. Some services are offered by the career service, so like interviews and help or support for writing your motivation letters, application to job, and also they have a website where students can apply for job and internship opportunities. For those who have this like entrepreneur approach, so the idea to create their own startup, there is the opportunity to be in contact with the PolyHub, which is the innovation park and startup accelerator of Politecnico di Milano. And again, this is another opportunity after graduation, or even before graduating, you might already be in contact with them for your project related to your future. So we try to be there for you now, so even now, where you're not yet here in Milan, throughout your journey and also after you graduate. There is also a community of alumni of Politecnico di Milano, which is really happy and active, I would say. And thanks to all we mentioned today, we can really say we are well ranked. We are 8th in design worldwide. So the university, if you choose Politecnico di Milano for your design program, you will definitely be studying in a high level university, which has a lot of partnership, as I was saying before. So the opportunity to go abroad and also to be in contact with professors from different universities, technical universities. Also, you have the opportunity to be in contact with students, with current students of the university. So, of course, Timothy is here today, and I will leave floor to him for some additional insights. But also, you can talk to students who are already here. You can book an appointment. Oh, sorry, you're still here. You can book an appointment online, ask your questions, find out more about the programs, compare the programs and the opinions of the students, and definitely have a peer-to-peer communication about studying at Politecnico di Milano. In addition to that, of course, you can always be in contact with us and for any doubts you might have. But I would love Timothy to add something you want to share.
Sure, just final comments. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, I think overall it's great that all of you are here and interested. It's smart to start your process early because there are sometimes complications going abroad. I mean, even for me maybe especially for me coming from the US, I had to go and get certain documents translated and stamped and all these things. I felt that Politecnico was extremely helpful from their end. It's just that you have to deal with government bureaucrats in some cases. So definitely it's a good idea to start early and ask for help if you need it. And then once you're there, you're going to love it. I think there are lots of great things about the Politecnico in Milan and all the programs they offer, but it all comes down to the people. And I will tell you firsthand that Politecnico continues to attract the very, very best students from Italy. And I think some very talented students from across Europe and the whole world. So if you go there, whatever program you choose, you're going to be going to class with some very, very smart people and people who are excited about the future, who want to make an impact, who want to go out and change the world in some way. These are people who are very inspired. And the faculty there, they're just older versions of the students. They're just really smart people that stuck around and are passionate about their research. And so they showed up every day, teaching what they care about. And if you are a motivated student, you'll develop relationships with the professors as well. You can join them on their research. They might hire you to help them with their work. It could lead to a PhD. It could lead to a job. So it's really, the door is open to so many possibilities. I just think that being there in Milan at Politecnico is a great place to be, especially when you're young and you're looking for opportunities. So.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for your insights. I agree with you, and I really feel this. I see in these days I see some students struggling with bureaucracy, as you were saying, because like the first steps from like documents to be assessed and so on. But mainly I see people smiling a lot, just meeting each other, knowing each other, and be very happy about this choice they made to come to Politecnico di Milano. So I really hope you will be among them next year and the following ones, and I'm ready for your questions.
Perfect. Okay, then let's go over to the questions. And we have questions already coming in. So if you join late, just to make sure, you can write your question at any time through the panel at the right bottom. That's where you can write all of your questions. And also just to remind everyone if they have to leave, to give them their feedback through the pollings. We opened up various poll questions and that's just to get to know you a little bit better, and it would be appreciated if you could answer those. All right, let's go over to the questions. First of all, Christina was asking, I have graduated in architecture in Romania. Am I eligible for a PhD program at Politecnico? Explaining about if the annexes from our diploma will be sufficient.
Well, yeah, if you have a master degree, so if you graduated at master level, you definitely can apply to the PhD program. At the moment, today the call for this academic year, so 2023, is open, so you can apply. You can look on the PhD website of Politecnico di Milano, and you will find a lot of calls available for you in the different fields. So definitely possible to apply.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Meanwhile, actually, there was a question from Alberto. I think might have joined late. So just to make sure about that, we have recorded this session. So if you missed some parts, don't worry. We'll be sending the recording to all of you, so you can watch it over from the start, or again if you missed something. Next question from Kevin. My question is if Poly have preferences in the master degree selection phase to ones who apply earlier than other, and also regarding the first call or in the second call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's not a preference. Let's say the professors usually design professors. If we're talking about design, usually they wait for the students at the end of the first call. They evaluate the students who applied in that period and select the ones they want to meet, the ones they don't want to meet, and just put in a, let's say, in a limbo for a while the ones who are not about they're not certain about. So this is the situation. If you apply in the second call, some seats are already taken, of course, because the professors already selected some students. But it's not a big deal. I would suggest if you already know you want to apply, you have a portfolio, you have the time to build a good portfolio within the end of the first application call, I would suggest to apply earlier. Yeah, this is my advice.
Okay, thank you very much, Chiara. Hope that answers your question, Kevin. Question from Sabrina. Can I apply to the fashion design master after doing a bachelor in communication design and psychology with a double major?
All right. Well, if you have a portfolio and projects related to fashion design, because if you come from disregarding the psychology, because of course it's not related to this, but if you have a degree in design and communication design and projects related to fashion design, you can prepare the portfolio and apply. If your projects are really not connected to fashion design but to other areas of design, I would not suggest to apply to fashion design because it's really, really hard to get in. I might suggest you to consider the other programs we have in design. I hope it helps.
I hope so too. Otherwise, let us know, Sabrina, and anyone for that matter that's wondering about this as well. Let's see, Kevin, I think your questions probably have been answered, but otherwise, let us know. You wrote similar questions, I think, there. Don't hesitate to let us know otherwise. Emmanuel, I think we can get back to you by email. Well, you will get this recording as well. You have and the links. Don't check the links as well that were sent through the chat. There you have overview and student services and also the application portal. So there you find a lot of information on the website. And Kate is wondering which documents do I need to register or translate? We did briefly go over some of this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I might show again the slide about the documents which are. I'm sorry, you're doing maybe. Let me go back. Oh yeah, you're moving the slide, so like leave it open that. Yeah, okay, sorry, I overlapped you. Okay, there are some documents which are well compulsory, of course. If you, I don't know where you studied, but if you studied in the US or in English where the English-speaking country, you don't need to translate any documents. So we accept all the documents in English. All of these documents are okay in English. If you have been studying somewhere else, and the documents are provided by the university in the original language, you will need to get the transcript, diploma, CGPA statement translated into English and prepare the other documents in English.
Okay. Hope that helped. The documents there are on the screen. So Kate, let us know if you have any other questions. Kevin had a question. Which difference is the program of interior and spatial design of Polyme from other universities?
That's a great question. Yeah. Well, I think basically all the programs we offer, of course, differ somehow from the programs offered by the other universities for the reason that we mentioned so far. Of course, for the environment, basically. So here we have Milan is really into design and architecture. The program in interior and spatial design, as Timothy was saying before, also is connected to the architecture field. So this is a plus for us, and it's the place to be for design and architecture. Then it's hard to answer because I don't know which universities you're talking about, which programs you are comparing our program to. So if you want to, you can reach out by email, so we can definitely go through this. And also, I again suggest to get in contact with a student who's currently enrolled at Politecnico di Milano in interior design, to have a chat, to understand better the program, the academic year, and so on. So I was it to be a student of interior design at Politecnico di Milano. So that's a very important thing to do, I think, when you decide to apply to a university.
Okay, great. Thank you, Chiara. I hope that answered that question for you, Kevin. And you already mentioned you'll be in touch, so good to know.
Yeah.
And let's see about other questions that came in. Yes, Shivrai, if I said it right, asked about, I want to transfer from the Ukraine to Italy to continue my study. Is that possible?
Yes, transferring from a university to our university is possible. So there is just procedures you have to go through. It depends also on which level. If you want to study a bachelor degree or a postgraduate degree, it really depends on that. So that you have to check the procedure, but it's definitely possible to come to Politecnico if you're currently enrolled. So let's say if you want to apply to a master degree, you have to fill out the application and do like the other students who start from scratch, let's say, but you might have some exams recognized because you have already taken them at your university.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much, Chiara. And that was the last question I've seen. Just last one coming in, just on the deadline, because we're about to wrap up the session. Question from, I think, Anna. Can I apply for a first call without English proof if I provide the results later, or do I need to submit a certificate?
That's a very, very good question. Thank you, Anna, for your question, because I forgot probably to mention that. Yes, you can provide the language proof later. You have definitely a different deadline, and it's going to be next year, so February. So you can apply now in the first call without providing the English language certificate, and you can have time until February to upload it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. I will leave everyone with the application portal. There, you'll see now on the screen. I'm sorry to block your face, Chiara, but that way you have a link directly. If you click on it at your own page, you can see the information that is available on the portal with the how to register online in the form and everything else. So with that, I think there's no further questions, and I hope the information came through to all the audience. We had a lot of people from different countries joining in, so that was great to see. And I have a last poll question just to leave us with. I'll put it on the screen. Meanwhile, you can answer this. And now it's blocking myself nicely as well. And thank you to let us know how we did. We'd like to know, of course, to see if we did well. So give us your honest feedback. If you want to add something in the chat, by all means do so. And from my side, I would like to thank everyone for joining. First of all, of course, Chiara, thank you very much for your time in your busy schedule. I'm sure the students appreciated that. And Timothy as well, including your lovely dog. Thanks for your support and being available. I know for students, that's always great to hear the insights, not so much from your dog this time, but from yourself, yes. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And the audience, of course. Thanks, everyone. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank Luke and
thank
team for your insights. It was lovely to have you. And thank you, guys. I hope you will apply.
Thank you, everyone. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, thank
Bye.
you. Take care. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.